Over the weekend, Ted Cruz came roaring back with decisive victories in Kansas and in Maine. But more important than the two that he won were the two where Trump beat him, Louisiana and Kentucky. Now, Louisiana is kind of a little bit like Alabama. I mean, they're different, Cajun population and all that, but still basically geographically akin. And Cruz lost the Alabama primary by about 17 points on Super Tuesday. But he lost the Louisiana primary by only 4, showing a tremendous growth in Cruz's support. And more importantly, Rubio and Kasich both faded dramatically from their strong finishes in Alabama, particularly Rubio, to a very distant third in Louisiana. And the same was true when you compare Tennessee and Kentucky. Again, different states, but in many ways similar. On Super Tuesday, Trump absolutely creamed everybody in Tennessee, winning it by 15 or 17 points. But in Kentucky, he won it by only 4, with Cruz really nipping on his heels. So there is evidence to suggest that Trump may be really crashing, and that Cruz may really be surging. Now, there's a separate phenomenon, and you have to look at them differently. Is Trump crashing? Well, his vote share is down somewhat from the Super Tuesday levels. You could argue that he's lost 3 or 4 or 5 points from those levels, which is significant. It's the first time Trump has ever really lost from his perch at the high 30s and low 40s% of the vote. But more ominously for Trump, Rubio and Kasich are de facto increasingly out of this race. It doesn't matter that they haven't withdrawn. It doesn't matter that they haven't had that long press conference about the movement will live on and all that, because the voters are withdrawing them on their own. To use Romney's words, they're self-deporting them from the Republican primary. And increasingly, the voters who would have gone to Rubio, and to a lesser extent those that would have gone to Kasich, are now going to Cruz, which means that de facto this is becoming a two-way race. It also suggests that there is real substance in the theory that when it becomes a two-way race, when Rubio is finally out and Kasich is finally out, it will in fact be a race that Cruz will tend to win. Because as Rubio is fading, Trump is gaining, Cruz is gaining. And there is no appreciable increase in Trump's support. There's in fact a decrease. So when Rubio loses 10 points, it looks like they all go to Cruz. And it looks like Carson's vote all goes to Cruz. And that really is ominous for the Trump candidacy. Now, is there time? Yeah, sure there is. Going into March 8th's election, there's only 75 delegates separating Trump and Cruz. There were 98 before Saturday. So I think that this is very good for Cruz and ominous for Donald Trump. Now we're going to go into Michigan tomorrow. And in Michigan, Cruz has made very little effort. I think he campaigned there a little, he debated there. But I don't think he's had ads running, and I don't think he's really made a major effort there. He's been saving himself for the March 15th efforts in Florida, Ohio, and other of the major states, including Missouri and North Carolina. But it will be very interesting to see what happens to the Rubio vote and to the Trump vote, even without a major push by Ted Cruz. So stick around. We'll have a much, much better idea of the future of this race on Wednesday. But it really took shape over this last week. On Super Tuesday, it was crucial that Cruz pulled out 3 states and won in 3 states, demonstrating that he could indeed beat Donald someplace other than Iowa. And then it's crucial that Rubio won only a caucus in Minnesota, and that is creating a de facto two-way field. The Rubio victory in Puerto Rico, I don't think, is going to amount to much. So thanks for watching. And today I recorded a podcast, a fairly lengthy column where I comment in greater depth on this race and on the Democratic race and on the ultimate general election. So give it a listen. You can click on the link adjacent to this video, or go to iTunes, or go to podcast1.com. Thanks for watching.